Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at a very popular character and indeed toy, that is the Autobot Jazz. What we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a quick look at him in both of his modes, and that'll help you decide how you want to display him. I'll show you the accessories that come with him if you're looking to complete him. I'll point out a few things that you need to be aware of if you have to purchase him one yourself. And as I'm lucky enough to have a couple of different types of packaging, we can have a look at the artwork and the battle scenes on the back of that. And that, in honesty, is probably one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video again. So for people who've been with me, for quite a few months, you'll notice that I've already done one of these videos. However, and this is another point I want to get to, I want to thank again everybody for their continued support. And if you're not a subscriber already, please hit that subscribe button for me now. But I've had a lot of requests now to do some of the original Autobot cars again, so that's exactly what I'm doing. And I also want to especially dedicate this to JJ Primes, and he's another fellow YouTuber and he's got his own channel as well, so check him out, JJ Primes. So let's get started. This is Jazz. He came out in 1984 and he was one of the original Autobot cars, one of the first waves, which we now refer to the toys being released, or Series 1 back then, and exactly that. So he came out, one of the first, 1984, and he is fantastic. Even to this day, he just looks amazing. If you want to be negative about this guy, the only negative thing that you can say is he does lack some articulation, but as you're aware, most of the original toys did. He's got movement in the shoulder there, and he's got movement at the elbow or bicep joint, and he's got movement at the wrists, but that is literally about it. You can clearly see there that the legs are joined together, but he just looks so good. He does, he just looks so good. I mean, what's wrong with displaying him like that? Nothing at all. You'll have to excuse the reflection, but that's one of the things that I do want to pick out while we're here. He's got quite a bit of chrome, so his feet stroke shins, his weapons and his waistband, they are all chrome, and of course the inside of his wheels. Now, funnily enough, on Instagram there's another guy, great friend now, Transformers UK Collector. He found a chrome pen, and he managed to, I didn't even know these existed, by the way, and he managed to touch his original Generation 1 Jazz up, and it looks fantastic. So have a look at his Instagram as well if you want to look at how to do that. Transformers UK Collector on Instagram. But anyway, quickly back to this. The wheels are also rubber, so be aware of them, that they can perish and, of course, break away. I'm going to turn him around now, nice and carefully. And the things to be aware of as well, all the things on the back. So his rear windows, his hood, even the doors, they can come off, especially with heavy-handed younger owners. In the past, they do break off very, very easily, but you can get away with it. If you want to display it in robot mode, you probably need the doors, but you wouldn't know that the hood was missing on the back, nor the rear windows, unless you were like really, really looking. So I suppose you can get away with displaying him in that particular manner. This is his blaster, or his flamethrower. That's the detail you're looking for on there, because a lot of the original Generation 1 Autobot cars had silver chromed weapons, and they did look quite similar. That is his missile, and exactly the same reason why I'm showing you in detail. They had a lot of silver missiles. And then quickly, and I'm going to show you nice and carefully where the rocket launcher attaches. So you can slot this off the back there, which goes around the top part of the hood. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because if it doesn't have them bits there, of course it's not going to fit around it. And quickly while we're here, you can maybe see it says Martini there. Now, even though this Takara Jazz here is an original and it doesn't have the Martini logo on there, it doesn't mean it's a copy or a fake. Funnily enough, obviously all the ones below, which were the 1990s reissues, they took the Martini branding off. This guy here is an original there, and it's got it on there. So some of them will have them on, some of them won't, and that even includes the original ones as well. So don't worry if yours hasn't got it on and you've been sold a vintage one, because they don't. I mean, some of them don't have it on. So that'll hopefully allay your fears there. But here it is, the alternate mode, and this is amazing. This is obviously the Porsche 935 Turbo, and the reason why it's got the Martini branding on is because in real life, the racing car, that was one of its sponsors. But there you go. You can also see, unfortunately, I've got a bit of sun fading here. Sun fading on this particular figure is huge. It's one of the biggest flaws, shall we say. And as you'll see in a second, even with some of these sealed figures that I've got there, they've managed to still get sun faded. So if you're going to display in this mode, you obviously need all of this intact. However, if this is broken, and I've seen it in the past, that it will just rest, so you might not even know it's broken. So that's something to be aware of. Tyres, as I've already mentioned, are rubber, so that's something to be aware of. But you know, you can just see there, he displays amazingly in any mode. Right, let's have a quick look at some of the packaging. Again, this video has changed slightly differently from the one before, and I know it just sounds like I'm giving everybody loads of shout outs today, but the old video had an opened gold box, and I actually sold that to one subscriber and a friend called Lee Bennett, and you guys don't know who he is, but you will know him now because he's the amazing guy who did the intro for my channel, so big thank you to him. Yeah, it's because of him I've got the new intro. But there is the original 1984 box. There we go. There is the artwork there for Jazz. Looks fantastic, really good. There's the transformation process on the top. There's nothing standing out there that's any different. Sometimes they use test shots and they might have slightly different colours. And then we've got excuse me, we've got one of the original battle scenes there, the 1984 battle scene where you've got Prime, Starscream, Prowl, Sunstreaker, and of course Soundwave and his tapes. Great battle scene. I'm going to keep this down here for now. So this is the Takara version, which just means it was released in Japan. They numbered all theirs, to be honest, which made things a bit easier. So the 6th figure released along the line says Takara there. Everything's exactly the same apart from the fact, let's have a look, there's the battle scene again. But what I do really like, and I do mention this a lot in my videos, is you'll see that it's got some polystyrene insert to hold him in place. Main reason is it makes the box look much more compact, which it is, much smaller, and I suppose it's less packaging if you want to be pedantic that way, but without the bubbles it's still safe. Unfortunately, I've seen and read horror stories of sealed cards, even ones that have been for grading, the bubbles have actually come off, so we don't want that to happen at all, and there's no way of getting into these to protect the bubbles because of course they're sealed. Right, so for the people who don't know now, what we've got is these are the classic reissues. And I suppose these were exactly that. They were the first official reissues from Hasbro, from Takara, and these still came out as Generation 1 figures. So they're not anything later than all of the Toys R Us ones in the 2000s. 1990, was it, or 1989? Let's have a quick look at the back. 1990 these were, and I know they all look exactly the same from where we're sitting, but what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go with this guy first. And this is the English variant, and you can't tell because there's a light reflecting, but there you go. You see it says Classic Heroes at the top, and I know it's really obvious now I've said it, but all of the writing is in English. So there you go, ages 5 and up, and it includes snap-on weapons and accessories. And I'm going to spin this around, and at the time in 1990, obviously Hasbro was really peddling their Micromasters, and that's one of the little Micromaster bases on the back that you can see. Tech specs are exactly the same. So the reason why I showed you that in so much detail is because now we're going to move along to this one, and it just says Autobot on the top, but then below it you can see there we've got a partir de 5 años, so we've now got the Spanish packed variant. And again, these are sealed, and you can just about make out, see unfortunately, that the sticker's got a bit of fading on it in there. So the Spanish variant, Spanish writing on the box, and we've got a different battle scene on the back. And I know it's not a great battle scene, but this is basically just advertising all of the classic reissues. So inside these gold boxes, so we've got, I'm pretty sure that's Swindle, we've got the Autobot cars, Trax, Jazz, Astro Train. Basically all of these figures came out in gold boxes, and they were reissued in the very early 90s as part of Generation 1, just to, I suppose, keep the brand alive and keep selling things. Right, this one is probably the rarest of the lot. This still says Classic Autobot, and it still has some English on it, but then the rest of it is in Dutch. So we've got, it's, yeah, 5, oh no, and maybe Dutch and French by the looks of that. So that's the languages there, and again you've still got the slight fading inside there on the door. Let's have a look what the battle scene on the back of this is. Okay, so the battle scene's the same as the Spanish one. But there you go, so these are all still sealed. They're going to go off for grading as soon as I can afford to send them off, just in case anybody asks. But again, let's do a quick recap then. So very, very popular character. He's been, you know, reissued so many times down the Generations line. Fall of Cybertron, I think it was either Titan Masters or Prime Wars, one of the ones which he had a reissue in. He's coming out again as part of Studio Series 86. He's just a great character. Everybody loves him. In the Sunbow cartoon, he was huge. He was very, very prominent all through it. But there we go. I think that I've waffled on enough for about this figure. Hopefully I've showed you enough things in here, or made you aware of a few things, and it's helped you with your quest or decision whether you want to get one or not. Yeah, exactly that, and mainly to bring back some memories for people who had him when he was a kid. So there he is. He's the 1984 original Autobot car, Jazz. Thank you very much for everybody who's watching. Thank you to Lee Bennett for my intro. Thank you to JJ Primes, and I hope you really like this video. And yeah, everybody else who's watching, liking, subscribing, and just making this channel, especially during these times. I keep mentioning, I am ever so sorry to keep going over the same things. We are locked down again in the UK at the moment. It's quite bleak out there, but I'm getting lovely messages saying that things like this, are keeping people positive and helping out. So that's amazing to hear that. So thank you ever so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And of course, everybody, please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.